Hello and welcome everyone to Manulife's Wellness Webinar, Beauty Behind Closed Doors, Self-Care During Quarantine. I am Vanessa from Manulife Philippines and I am one of the hosts of today's exciting webinar. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed our everyday and challenged us in new ways, making self-care more important than ever. That's why today we have invited a very special guest to talk about how we can care for our skin better and be healthy and beautiful even while we continue to stay home. But before we start, I'd like to request everyone to participate in our poll and our Q&A later. To join the poll and questions, simply go to www.sli.do. Then enter the event code Manulife X Belo, or you can simply scan the QR code flashed on your screen. Please also note that this webinar is recorded, and if today's topic isn't exciting enough, I'd like to announce that we will give away raffle prizes throughout our program. Limited edition Manulife items, gift cards, and Apple AirPods. Wow, stay tuned for all of that. I know you're all excited, and I am too. So let me turn you over now to my co-host and colleague, Eileen.
Thank you, Van. Welcome, everyone. I am Eileen Junicio, also from Manulife Philippines. And yes, I am one of the many who are looking forward to this webinar. At Manulife, we believe that taking care of yourself means making every day better because being healthy is being beautiful. Just like what Vanessa had said, there will be poll surveys and a raffle throughout the program. So with that, as promised, we will be announcing the winners to our first raffle for those who registered to this webinar. Our first winner will receive Manulife and Hydro Flask Collab stainless steel bottle. Congratulations to Camille Joy Carion. You are receiving a Manulife and Hydro Flask Collab stainless steel bottle. Our second winner, who will receive a Manulife and Natura Collab yoga mat. Congratulations to Halid Abdullah. Congratulations, Halid. Our team will get in touch with you on how you can claim your prizes. Okay, so now it's time to introduce our guest speaker. She is the president and medical director of the Belo Medical Group, a celebrated dermatologist and doctor to the stars, known for pioneering the skincare, laser, and liposuction industry in the Philippines. It is an honor to welcome our very special and beautiful guest today, Dr. Vicki Belo.
Hello, Eileen. Hello, Van. A bello, beautiful afternoon to everybody out there. I hope everybody's safe. Welcome to our self-care during quarantine webinar. Talking about self-care during these very trying times, and I will use the acronym BELLO so that you will know what to do. This is Belle Daza, who I think epitomizes somebody who will really take care of herself. She's already in her early 30s. She just gave birth. She has a 2-year-old son. She's all about health and natural beauty. This is our campaign for tomorrow. It will begin on Skin Genius, having a no makeup, I mean really not wearing any makeup and still looking radiant. So Bello, let's begin with our acronym Bello. B stands for, did you know that there was a study done during quarantine and people were asked, that should be one of your questions, what is the first thing you will do once the ECQ is over? And the number one answer by far, did you show the slide? It's a thing done by Kantar, a survey. And the number one answer by far was beauty treatments. I'm sure a lot of you were really feeling bad during the ECQ when I guess your hair was looking funny, or you wanted to be pampered, just the feeling of somebody washing your hair, or you needed your highlights, etc. It also included, of course, treatments like facials. A lot of people were breaking out during the quarantine because of stress, and they were pricking their own pimples because they couldn't stand looking at one pimple, which of course nanganak to 3, nanganak to 5, and everybody was wearing masks, and you have something called acne, which we will talk about later. So let's begin with so B is for finding balance in your life. It's very important. I'm sure during quarantine you realized in a way that it was a blessing that you stayed home. If you were lucky enough to love your husband, I'm sure you ignited the romantic fire again and you got close to your children. And or you might have found out that I can't stand living with this person, but hopefully 90% of you found that I made the right choice. I married the right man, and my kids are wonderful. So I think everybody, when they went back, it would be a waste of time for us to be quarantined and then to go back to the world and not be changed inside as well. Balance is so important in this life, right? Because I'm sure before quarantine, maybe you guys were overworked, so stressed, trying to make a good living. So, it's kind of funny. I have a friend who he doesn't work. And I asked him, I said, for me, because I've been working my whole life since I was 16. I said, how can you not work? Don't you find meaning? He goes, Vicky, why do you work? I said, well, for one, I work because I want to contribute to the world and make a difference. And number two, of course, I want to make a good living so that, my family can have a good life. He goes, well, I'm single and I have a good life. So why will I work? I have enough money to live a simple life. So for us out there, because when I go to the States, for example, I meet a lot of people who work so hard, nurses especially, who work 12 hours a day, 5 days a week to be able to buy 2 houses, 3 cars, and then they don't have time for their family. So as I said earlier, I think most of us have realized, at least my realization during this quarantine, was that health was extremely important, and that one we took for granted, but now we know how important it is. And family life is extremely important. And why is self-care extremely important? Because, like in the plane, they always say if for some reason there's no air on the plane and the oxygen mask drop down, and you have your child with you, are you supposed to put the mask on the child first? No, you have to put the mask on yourself first, because you can't help people if you are not yourself okay. If you don't self-care, and if you are so run down and you're not balanced in your life, there will be nothing for you to give the people you love. And that's where your oxygen mask should go to you first, and then you can help your children or your beloved or your parents. But otherwise, if you give them the mask first, you might actually faint, drop off, and you can't do a thing for them. Next slide, please. So let's go to working from the house. In our clinic, at least for now, 90% of the support staff is working from the house. And it's very difficult because, of course, it was such a busy office, but now because of social distancing, we feel that it's much better for them to stay at home if they can be as productive as they are in the office, which is hard to do. I have to admit, even I here in the house have been trying to be productive, but with the kids around and having to cook, and the kids have no school, so you kind of have to make sure they're learning stuff during this quarantine. It's hard to do, but these are the steps from my research that have been found to be effective in helping you achieve this work-life balance and working from home effectively. You have to set a specific area in your house. Don't do it in the kitchen or the dining room. Make a space that kind of looks most like an office. And you have to tell your family that I am working. You owe it to your bosses or your clients or whoever to give them 100% like you do at work. And you have to dress up. When you wake up in the morning, of course, you have to do your hygiene stuff and prepare for the family. The great news here is that you don't have to go through traffic. Yay! So you probably, save an hour or 2 hours going and coming. So that's time that you can actually devote to your family. But you have to say, when I close this door, if you have set yourself to work from 9 to 12 and then take a lunch break and 1 to 6, you have to ask your family to respect that, because it's also not fair to your bosses if you do magulo work. You have to have a specific work area, set a specific work schedule, and dress up. Don't be in your shorts and stuff like that, even if nobody sees you, because according to a lot of psychologists, dressing up puts you in the proper frame immediately. It's an anchor to know that you are at work, and it changes your whole outlook. Next slide, please. I don't know if you guys have had any breakdowns during this period, but I've been talking to my friends and a lot of my staff, and they've all had a problem with this thing. Of course, we all try to be positive. We try to see the positive side of it, but it is an anxious time where we're always scared that our loved ones or we will be infected with the coronavirus, and the people that we meet, we're kind of scared to see our friends because they might have it. So this is very stressful. Plus, we're cooped up in the house. We're really, for the longest time under ECQ, we weren't allowed to even walk outside or do our normal stuff. And going to the supermarket is already scary. We have to have our masks. We have to have our gloves. All this is stressing out your mental health, and so it will come out by either being hot-tempered, or you'll cry for no reason. Sometimes when we keep trying to be positive, even if we feel afraid inside, that will really take a toll on our mental health, and we will have breakdowns, and that's normal. Okay, so please don't feel bad about it. So I propose that one of the things. So what I did here is I meditate every day in the morning, but we'll get to that later. But of course, all of us make yabang now, the new skills that we acquired during this quarantine period. Because I'm in charge of Scarlett's parang enjoyable time. Sayed is in charge of teaching her math and reading and Filipino and piano. Ako naman, the fun stuff. If you want to learn how to make truffle, is it truffle? Truffle popcorn, you can look at my IG, Victoria_Belo. It's super yummy. Hey, no. Anyway, so you journal. Actually what I do is I have my prayer closet. Did you ever see that show where she would enter her closet and pray inside and put sticky notes everywhere? So I kind of have my version.
I guess the most important message here is this: relax and don't feel pressure to be too productive. Okay, where my first skin, so for you that you want to be beautiful for other people. But beautiful and having great skin is really part of self-care. I don't think, with all the people who were calling me during quarantine, they were so upset. Nobody was seeing them, but they couldn't take it. That when they looked at the mirror, they had a big breakout. The people who were calling me were like Jess Wilson, Camille Ko. There were many people that were calling me, and they were feeling quite already. Bad skin made it worse. But of course, it was very hot, and then they had to wear masks. So there's such a thing. Next slide, as Acne and etc. So one of the things that I found out is that maybe you thought just because you're out of the sun and you don't go out that hello, you're safe from the ill effects of sunlight. But article in the New York Times that was talking about what all that screen time is doing to your skin. So the hours that you sit in front of the computer, even cooking, can cause radiation heat, and this will make your skin hyperpigmented. It can also cause, the blue light from the screens can also cause free radical formation. So these free radicals are OH molecules or unstable molecules. If you remember your chemistry, all molecules want to be stable. So they steal molecules from your protein. So it can make holes in the collagen, as you can see on the arrow on the right side of your screen. By the way, I forgot to mention, kanina, when you have your work office in your house, I want you to remember the 20-20-20 rule. So that means you have to take a break every 20 minutes from looking at that screen. So every 20 minutes, look away, far away, like 20 feet for 20 seconds. This will give your eyes a rest, and it will stop from, getting a migraine and too much stress on the eyes. The other thing is you can rub your hands together for like 10 seconds. How do you rub? Yeah, rub your hands and then cup your hands over your eyes, close your eyes, and just let it rest. It's very effective when you use your hands because there is some energy coming from your hands. It will help your eyes rest. So the 20-20-20 rule, I hope you got that. Next slide, please. So the other skin condition that is kind of new, for me, what makes this acne is actually a combination of acne and mask, wearing of the mask. You know it's masking when you get a lot of your, so this is Nicole Hernandez. I don't know if you can hear her, but Nicole has pretty good skin, but suddenly she came to the clinic with acne. Am I talking over the video? Is it okay? I should keep quiet. Oh, I can talk. Okay. So she gets acne around her chin area, everywhere where the mask touches. Why does this happen? Number one, it's called acne mechanica because the friction of the mask and when you talk, of course, you can't help it. The mask moves up and down, will cause friction over the pores, and it will irritate your pores. So you have irritant contact dermatitis. But more important, part of your body. Does anybody know? Can that be one of our questions? It depends, no? If you're at home, I would suggest a little plug, but it's really true that we created this for you guys. The Belo Acne Pro Kit. So you have a good wash, and we have this B-nose thing that helps dry up the acne. So when it's beginning to come out lang, it's like it has a roller ball thing, and you just dab it, or it's got. Let's say you just dab it on your acne so it dries up. But of course, the best thing would be to wash your face at least only 3 times a day. Don't overwash, because if you overwash, you irritate them on the skin. If you underwash, you let the oil accumulate. It's important to have some sort of acne pads where you can remove the dead skin. Because once we get older, our hormones come in our teenage years, a lot of the skin is like stuck. So you have to you can purchase Belo Shop Store, the acne drying cream. When you get a pimple, you dry it already. And then you get an acne astringent because there are 4 causes of acne. One is bacteria, so you try to kill it with the acne astringent, and then you have the acne drying cream. So when it's already all inflamed, you dry it with that. You have a good soap, be it Gojic soap or glycolic soap or the Acne Pro soap of Belo Essentials. And then, but please really treat it long term. We have something called oil control microneedling, which dries up the oiliness, because as you heard, oiliness is next to ugliness. Yes. And so if you don't dry up the oil, then you get a price, Trish. I have 9 prices in my house. If you don't control the oil, then you keep getting acne. But this new oil control treatment, microneedling laser, will control the oiliness, and then you won't get acne anymore. So it's a longer term control. It's like eating ako, ginawa niyo ba to? Well, I'm sure I do that. When I'm stressed, I eat sweets in particular to make me feel better. This is Camille's call. I don't know if you know her. She's one of the most popular vloggers. And she has good skin, but when she was in quarantine, she kept eating donuts and cake and cinnamon roll and everything. So she had 2 breakouts that looked really bad. So parang nagkumpul-kumpul na yung pimples. This is one of my emergency pimple cases. It became like 3, 4, 5 pimples got together. It looks like, I don't know na. It doesn't look anymore like an insect. It doesn't look like pimples anymore. I don't know. Because she kept pricking it. So guys, when you prick your own pimple, please know that all you're going to do is get out a little pus, but a lot of the pus will go inside. Just imagine the volcano, okay? There's a lot of pressure, so it's painful. What's about to drop? So when you press that pimple, half the ashes of lava go out upward, and the other half kind of go deeper into your skin, and tomorrow you will now have 3 pimples. In her case, she had 5 pimples now. From 1 pimple per side, it became 5 pimples. So please don't do this. Wait till you can go to your dermatologist, or if you can go to Belo, because we really specialize in acne cleaning, because I had very bad skin, and I made sure that that's what I think. Now, if you're far away from us and you can't go to Belo, then you should go to the Belo shop. So write down, these are the things that you should buy. An oil cleanser to control your oil, acne control pads. So again, salicylic acid to control the oiliness, get rid of dead skin. Bright Alive so that you don't get marks for your pimples. exfoliation accelerator because that removes all the dead skin so you don't trap the oil underneath. Because a lot of times, and please, I know I say this all the time and many people disagree with me, but I promise you can ask all my patients who have followed my advice. When you stop using moisturizers, you will get less acne. Please do not use moisturizers in the Philippines. I'm not saying it's bad all the time, but I'm saying in our country, our humidity is very high. And if you clog your pores with moisturizers, you are just going to end up with more pimples. And after 30 years in practice, I've never been pahiya when I tell people to stop using their moisturizers na kay mahal-mahal, na kung anong binili abroad. Bagay yan when you go abroad and you travel and you go to a country where it's not humid, but please don't use moisturizers in the Philippines. Okay. And then, of course, you don't have to get rid of our wrinkles. Even if we're young, we want to avoid. So wrinkle repair would be very good. So those are the nice ZO products that you should do. Skin solutions, when you go to the clinic, of course, we need to, if you don't know and you're not sure, you can do Belo Live consultations. Yes, you can talk to me one-on-one. And I'm so focused on you with Belo Live consultations. You do that through Belo. Belo shop, Belo Live consultations. E na tayo, finally. E is for exercise your face and body. I'm sure you get the exercise of your body. He's from Harvard. He's a geneticist, very important man who's discovered why aging is a disease. Did you know that aging is a disease? It is actually not inevitable. You can stop it. But that's too complicated for this talk. But one of the things he was asked in this coronavirus time, what can people do for themselves? What is the most important advice you can give them? And he said, move, exercise. You cannot be, because even also, when you work out, you decrease your anxiety. Normally, it's medyo mahal, but because they want people to stay home and work out, it's for free, the app. And you can pick it up, and it's great bonding with Hayden. We work out at least 5 times a week. It's got great things for strength and cardiovascular workout, aerobics, yoga, blah, blah. What are the types of exercise you should do? Aerobics is very good. Why? Because it increases your lung capacity, which I'm sure you've heard most of the people that get really serious with the novel coronavirus are people whose lungs are affected. If their lungs are not healthy, especially when you smoke, and I'm sure you encourage all your clients not to smoke, then the lungs will get sick really easily. If your heart is not strong, then cardiac failure can happen. And you get stronger hearts and stronger lungs by working out. Next slide. Next. Supplementation. Supplementation has never been as important. Let me tell you what to take when you really want to fight corona. So this is not your daily multivitamin thing. If you wonder why some people get coronavirus and they're asymptomatic and other people end up in the ICU, it's really because of the level of their immune system. What are the supplements that target corona? Number 1, vitamin D is the star of the show. Why? Because it has dendritic cells that capture the coronavirus into like a spider web, like Spider-Man. And it cannot anymore move around your body too much. 2, it also has Pac-Man cells, which are lymphocytes that eat up your coronavirus. And so it doesn't progress. I can see more than once a day. So we recommend you take it twice a day, 500 milligrams in the morning, 500, because it will go out in your pee during the day, so you have to do it again in the afternoon. The other thing, vitamin D, by the way, is a fat-soluble vitamin, so it stays in your body. So there is a chance of overdosing. You have to take, we have this in the clinic. This is called the BB immune system because it's Vicki Belo for what I take. The vitamin D has to be under the thumb, 25,000 units, international units, twice a month long. Zinc is amazing. I just discovered it now, but it's an anti-inflammatory. When you start getting a sore throat, before you get running that you already have corona, drink zinc at least 3 times in that day, and your sore throat will just stop. You know, because I tend to have sore throats a lot with my tonsils. I kind of mahina, but you know, anyway, I do the zinc and it's wonderful. And lastly, melatonin. I know you know that melatonin is an anti-aging supplement. It also makes you sleep well. Sleep is so important because it's the only time your body can repair itself. And so you have to sleep Melatonin helps that, but it's also an anti-inflammatory and antioxidant, so it does more than just help you sleep. Strength training and muscle training, this is not too much cardiovascularly and strength training. You have to balance it out with yoga and stretching because there is a fascia in our system and we need to stretch that. Otherwise, we will have aches and pains, body aches in our lower back and our neck, etc. So you have to do at least twice a week yoga, stretching. For me, the best yoga for this kind, if you're not used to doing yoga, is yin yoga. You can just look that up on YouTube, YIN, and it's very relaxed yoga. It's not hard, but it stretches your muscles and it gives you more yin energy. Now for your face. The face is extremely important. So look in my IG again. We have 3 exercises that I made my darling husband do because he's the only person I can ask to do this. Because you kind of look stupid when you do it. So do it alone. Don't let other people see you. But I want you to remember that your face is composed of 3 things. You have your skin, right? And then you have your muscle. And then you have your bone. Now for the skin, we have many, many treatments. For the bone, we also can put fillers. If you've lost bone as you get older, we can kind of make it look like you have it with the fillers. We have thermage for tightening the skin and everything, but the muscle, we really don't have anything. You have to kind of do the work yourself. And you have to create tension. And so I'm coming out with the YouTube facial exercises. I promise if you want to avoid double chins, get a great jawline, avoid wrinkles around your eyes, this is a great way to do it because as you get older, your muscles in the face get thin and long. That's why it looks saggy. Like if you look at your children, their muscles are round and firm. The other thing is eating. Now, I know this whole thing about K-beauty, but there is something that they've started talking about for a long time now in the last 10 years, that bacteria in your gut is 90% of your cells in your body are the bacteria in your gut. In the Philippines, we're very guilty of overusing antibiotics and creating resistant bacteria. We kill both the good and the bad. If you kill the bad bacteria, yay! But if you kill the good bacteria, then your ecologic system in your stomach is not good. The way to reverse and give yourself good bacteria, that's why it should also produce good skin, is by eating fermented food. And the most easily accessible fermented food in the Philippines is kimchi. So if you're wondering why Korean people have great skin, part of it is because they know they always eat kimchi. I have to warn you though that it doesn't smell very good, and the more fermented and mabaho it is, actually the better for your body. So please brush your teeth all the time, okay? And gargle, because of course the coronavirus likes to hide in the tonsils and the upper throat area before it goes to your lungs. So it'd be a great thing to really gargle with. There's a new study that PVP iodine, 0.5 ml of PVP and 0.5 ml of water mixed together will kill corona and stop it in its tracks. So I'm just saying that this green juice will make your skin beautiful also. And the recipe you can find in Reese Witherspoon. Of course, we have the nutraceuticals by Belo. The reason I brought this is because I would import from Japan collagen all the time. And I figured if I love this collagen from Japan, then other people might enjoy it. So we have the Belo Beauty Collagen Drink. And it's a very good, because do you know that we lose 1% of collagen per year of our life? So if you're 20, you've already lost 20% of your collagen, which if you're 30, it really begins to show. So you'll have less plumpness, less bounciness in your skin. And the way you cannot get collagen from your food because amino acid is hard to break down. So this collagen is already broken down into 3-chain amino acids, which is easily digested and absorbed by the body. So when you're 30, in your 20s to 40s, you drink 1 sachet a day. But when you're already 40 and above, I'm sorry, you've lost 40% of your collagen and up. 2 sachets a day. Sleep is important, and you should really get 7 to 8 hours of sleep a day. You shorten your life if you don't sleep, and you decrease your immune system, which is so important nowadays. But something that maybe the viewers out there or the listeners out there don't know is that it's also important what time you sleep. Why is it important? Because God is so intelligent and He made it that hormones are released. As I said, sleep is the only time you can fix your body and reverse aging and fix all the broken organs. But He does this by secreting hormones after when it's night, like when it becomes dark, about 3 hours or 4 hours after becoming dark, the hormones start to come out. So that means you should be asleep by 9 to 10. It's better that you wake up early, like 4 a.m., but you should be asleep from 10 to 4 because that's when the hormones come out. And if you're not asleep, the hormones cannot come out, so you're missing things, or they'll be bumping into each other and they won't be able to work. So stay hydrated. Water is so important, 8 to 10 glasses a day. I only drink now hydrogenated water or water with hydrogen. Why? Because again, for your immune system, we have this hydrogen bottle that creates hydrogen. It breaks down water, H2O, into free Hs. And hydrogen, if you remember your chemistry chart, is the lightest and the smallest molecule that can enter your cells, and it's an antioxidant as well. So it's very good to drink hydrogen water. Make sure it's a glass bottle because, of course, plastic can melt into the water. It has phthalates that are bad for you, can be a bit poisonous. So you make sure that your hydrogen bottle is glass, thick glass. Next slide, please. Avoid alcohol and drugs. Yes, alcohol is the most fattening thing from the lips to your hips. And usually makes your stomach a little bigger. And drugs, of course, we mean drugs that are either not prescribed or what do you call the drugs? Parang when you enjoy lang. Mga bad drugs. Party drugs. Okay, next slide. Recreation drugs. When all else fails, of course, you have to come to Belo. Yay! Next slide. L is for learn. Exercise the mind. So, stay informed but not overwhelmed. So what I've started doing, just reading the headlines. And I don't want to get depressed because I think I've lived long enough to know that the more you read, the more things stay the same. I mean, we've been doing so many things since, I was still around in the first EDSA revolution. I don't know how many revolutions I've had. The world is not a happy place nowadays, and sometimes you need to be informed but not over-informed so you don't get overwhelmed and depressed, because if it's all negativity, and please don't read the news before sleeping because it won't let you sleep well. Many people tell me they get fast heartbeat before sleeping or anxious, they're sleepy but they can't sleep. It's usually because you expose yourself to all these negative news before you sleep. Next slide. Better to meditate again. Of course, it's awful to be Zooming. I miss touching my friends, hugging them, but you have to stay connected. Don't be isolated because it will make things worse. Talk with your friends. At least you can really talk about anything light and try to uplift each other. If somebody starts going to negativity, try to bring them up instead of letting them bring it down. Meditation, practice mindfulness. So what I do is I meditate 5 minutes in the morning. I pray. I do this thing called View Bible, beautiful plans. So there are plans for if you're anxious. There are plans if you are afraid. There are plans if you are depressed. It's great. It's like 5 minutes, the whole thing, and you feel uplifted after. Here are some apps that can help you. I think Calm is the best. Next slide, please. Yeah, so I said the Bible. Then, Bello, offer everything to God. So I really feel that the coronavirus is a wake-up call to a lot of us. I thought that you were so powerful and even have reached such a high thing. Well, God said, look, this little virus, you can't, little virus has stopped the whole world. And all the advanced, wala tayong nagawa. So this is a time to reflect on your life and to ask yourself what you're doing here, what your purpose is here, and really if you offer everything to God, if you wake up with an attitude of gratitude, I think we will all get out of here much better than when we came in. Yay!
Thank you very much for that very informative presentation, Dr. Vicky. We will make sure to remember all the tips that you shared, especially the very last one. Thank you again for taking your time to spend the afternoon with us.
Thank you. I'm so sorry,
Now,
guys, for
it's
being so
okay.
malabo, but I hope you got
Thanks.
something anyway.
Yes. But Dr. Vicky, we have a lot of questions via Slido, so I hope you have time to answer some of them. I'll turn you over to Vanessa.
Okay. Thanks, Amy.
Hi, Dr. Vicky. Actually,
Hi,
your presentation,
Vanessa.
yes, it's very informative, and we have learned a lot. And that's why we are having a lot of questions from the audience. First question is that how to remove armpit hairs without darkening and the chicken
Okay.
skin effect.
Yes. Okay, so armpit hairs. Of course, the best way to remove armpit hair is to laser hair removal, right? But if under quarantine, maybe it's hard for you to get to a clinic to have laser hair removal. So, what are the ways to remove armpit hair? We have plucking, correct, which will usually give you chicken skin. We have waxing, which might give you chicken skin, and hyperpigmentation as well if they're not done properly, and if you get burned, it gets dark. Diba? We have shaving, which for me is the worst, okay, because it really damages the very sensitive skin in your armpits. Because with a sharp blade, you have to remember that Asian skin is unstable, and the way we react to any trauma is to darken. That's why we get mosquito bites in our legs or anything. We have marks, whereas Caucasians they don't have such a thing. So if you're going to give me a choice between the three ways to do it or even threading, I would do plucking is the best if you're at home. I would also say that you guys, after that, we have Bello. I've already seen these problems. Actually, Bello Medical Group is the research arm of Bello Essentials. So whatever problems I see in Bello Medical Group, I tell my R&D, Bello Essentials, can you make a product for this? So we came up with something called the beauty deodorant. So the beauty deodorant is something that gets rid of redness, chicken skin, and and the inflammation process. So and darkness of the armpit, because those are the things that I see in the clinic that become problematic. Because if they shave or if they wax, they have dark armpits. And please don't make bimpo people. This is the number one cause of darkening in the armpits. When people take a loofah or they take a bimpo and they rub the dark out of the armpits, they only end up getting darker. So again, the best way to do this is really to do laser hair removal. The less you touch your armpits, the more beautiful they will be. So don't rub, pluck, scratch. But if you do laser hair, you won't have hair anymore, so you're fine. Right. And if you have naman sweating in your armpits, the best way to get rid of that is to do Botox on your armpits, where you won't have any sweating for 6 months. And so then, and it will be beautiful. You can raise your armpits all the time. That's really a beauty area. It's very unique to the Pinoys.
Any other
Yeah.
question?
Yes, we have another one. What is the best way to remove black and white head?
Nako kayo ha. The best thing to do is to prevent them to begin with, di ba? Let's not remove na if we can avoid. So what causes a blackhead and a whitehead? By the way, a blackhead is not dirt, okay? So people who feel that people with blackheads are madumi, that's not true. It's just oil that's exposed to air and then it becomes black. Whiteheads naman are the precursors of pimples. So a blackhead will never become a pimple. A whitehead will. A whitehead is an accumulation of oil underneath the skin, just like a blackhead. But the difference is the whitehead has a cover of skin. The blackhead is exposed to the air. So just like apples that you've bitten or something, or bananas that get black, oil when it's exposed to the air gets black. Now the whitehead, if it has infection or if you try to prick it and you don't know how, then you will end up with a pimple. So what are we going to do? Let's just avoid getting that. How are we going to avoid? Number one, make sure that you have a wash if you have oily skin that has some sort of glycolic acid, kojic acid, exfoliating beads. I don't like beads for that. I only like the acid. So kojic and glycolic. And you wash your face and make sure you rinse properly. See, that's why you need to see me, because this is how people wash their face, okay? And then they wash the face, and then when they rinse, dito lang sila sa gitna ng face. They leave all the soap here, and by the ear. Or they wear shampoo nang ganda sa hair, lambot-lambot ng hair ko. But a girl, guy, ang dami kong pimples sa side. Well, that's from your shampoo. So, make sure when you rinse, talagang rinse maraming beses, mga at least 10 to 15 times, hindi lang 3. One. Number 2, you should apply something that gets rid of dead skin, right? So the exfoliation accelerator of Zeo is the best. And then tretinoin is the best to avoid getting dead skin covering your oil, so you don't get whiteheads, which then become pimples. But if you have it already and you're asking me if you can do it yourself, no, I'm telling you, you shouldn't do it yourself because it's impossible. I've been doing, siguro nakakachambang lang ako 30% of the time. Because when you do this in the mirror and make tiris-tiris, then it's the wrong angle sometimes and you just push the oil in. Now for the nose, if it's blackheads, you can use a tweezer, but maybe I'll even let you use a comedone extractor, but you have to do it very gently because I see a lot of patients with scars on their nose from trying to do it themselves, and that's just going to end up being more expensive for you, and then you look pangit. So yeah, don't do that. Okay, go to a good esthetician or dermatologist.
Yes, thank you very much. Here's another question. What's the best treatment for stretch marks?
So stretch marks, what happens in stretch marks is we have collagen in our skin and we have elastin. Elastin are like elastic bands. So they get stretched out too fast when you get pregnant. Sometimes, that's why it's good to work out because then you have more, parang it's your if you do sit-ups and stuff like that, your tummy won't just go like that. So it won't stretch out so much. The best way to get rid of stretch marks is we have a treatment called, what is the treatment called? Yung combination of air dissection and then CO2 time capsule. We have so many invented names, I forgot now. Time capsule. So it really gets rid of stretch marks, but you have to do it once every, or you can also do the Energet, but you have to do it once every 3 months. And you have to do at least 4 treatments. It's not, stretch marks are one of the harder problems to get rid of.
And here's another question. Any home remedies for dark under eye circles?
Oh, home remedies for dark under eye circles. Aha. Okay, what causes dark under eye circles to begin with? Avoid it again. Stop rubbing your eyes. Stop doing late night things. As I said, 20-20-20 rule. Every 20 minutes. Look far away 20 seconds. About 20 feet for 20 seconds. Or this is the one I was trying to show you. Rub, cover, let it rest. Dark circles are caused either by thin skin and the blood vessels are showing, or rubbing your eyes too much, right? That causes pigment to go around your eyes. Or what else pa ba? Lymphatic drainage, mahina, so you can't, eye house cure. I would do, it's harder because you need to thicken the skin, and you can't put them on tretinoin around the eye area because it's too irritating. The only thing that can thicken your skin is tretinoin, but the eye is too thin, right? So you can put tretinoin on your cheeks and your forehead, but if you put it on your eye, you will end up with very red skin. Don't cry because it causes your. When you apply eye cream, you need an eye cream. We do have eye cream, the Filmed XBR, but guys, whenever you apply an eye cream, you have to realize that you have to use your ring finger, not your pointy finger, because it has to be very light, right? Oh, this is one thing you can do, the eye exercise. So I want everybody to put your hands on around your eyebrows, ganito, straight. Now, lift your eyebrows up, right? And close your eyes really tight. Tight na tight na tight for 20 seconds. and then we won't do it here because we'll waste so much time, and then release it, and then do it again. What does this do? It wakes up your lymphatic drainage, which causes like little false bags or dark circles. It makes circulation better. So if you have hemosiderin, dark pigment around that area, it will drain out. So the two things you need to do is three. Get a good eye cream, which you apply lightly. Don't do it at night, by the way. You do eye creams in the morning. I never knew this, but I can't believe it, but it's true. If you apply your eye cream at night, you just wake up with little eye bags because it's so moisturizing. It'll absorb oil, water, and then you look like you cried. So you have to be standing up and then do your You can also do this little massage, press lightly down your ear to the neck so that your lymphatic drainage out there. And then do this eye area thing, so you make sure that the circulation is good. And the most important thing is stop rubbing your eyes, eye strain, etc.
And for our last question, Dr. Vicki, should we still use sunblock even if we work from home and don't go out?
Yes, because if you saw my slide kanina about what does all this screen time do to your skin, it does cause, it has radiation and blue light, so it will cause pigmentation. So when you're at home, you should wear sunblock. The best kind of sunblock is a physical sunblock. So that means it's either titanium dioxide, which is like the Belo face sunblock, the regular orange one. Because it's like a mask. It looks like, it's kind of like opaque, so it blocks the radiation from coming in, and it also blocks some of the heat. You should always avoid heat. When you're cooking, medyo, you make like that and you walk away and you watch and then you go back, because if you just stay there and let all the heat come, the sunblock doesn't really protect you from the heat, although it can protect you from the light. If you really want something that looks nicer, even if it's just in the house, then you can use the tinted sunblock of Belo. Yeah, I invented it for you guys who stay. Sunblock a day keeps the wrinkles away. Don't ever think, if they always ask me what is the best anti-aging thing I can recommend, and it's sunblock, because the sun really destroys your skin more than anything. There are only two things that are really, really, really awful for your skin: the sun. I mean, there are many things that are bad, but not so bad, and smoking. And also jogging, by the way, because you jog, you lose weight, you get haggard, etc. But these three things, if you can just avoid it, then you will be a lot younger looking.
All right, thank you very much. Guys, I hope you took note of all those answers. I wish we have more time to answer all your questions, but we have to end this segment with a fun, fast talk. Dr. Vicki, are you ready?
Yeah. No, goodbye. No, I thank everyone for hanging around. How many people have hung around?
1,000.
1,000. Okay, I'm really sorry about all these technical problems, but I still hope you got something. Yeah, go ahead, fast talk game.
All right. This is going to be easy. A moisturizer or no moisturizer?
No moisturizer.
Korean 10-step skincare, yes or no?
Depends what's in it. I really find that a bit much. Mga 7, okay na. No, kasi skincare, Korean is very good for dry skin and normal skin, but not for oily skin. And 70% of Pinoys are oily. So, stop forcing it kung hindi hiyang.
Mask or scrub?
They do two totally different things. Usually a scrub first, because you remove the dead skin so that the good things of the mask can go in. Diba? So it's not, but I would do mask if I could only choose one.
Okay, body wash or body soap?
Body wash. We need to moisturize our body. It doesn't have so many oil glands.
And the last, lipo or non-invasive procedure?
Lipo or non-invasive?
For me, liposuction is the gold standard. It really removes fat where you want it, and you get the shape you really want. Non-surgical things, they can do, like focal areas, but they don't really give you the shape, the sexiness that you want. The small waist, the small arms. It just makes it smaller, but it doesn't get to the level at which that's really ideal.
All right. So thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Vicki, for all those answers. We learned a lot from you today. Do you have any final words you want to say to our audience?
I just want you all to stay safe and please, what, is Scarlett here? Scarlett, come. She just wants to say hi. Sweetheart. Yeah, Scarlett wants to say hi. What do you want to say? Be safe and pray and say thank you. Hi, say hello. Say hi. Hello. See, this is the kind of skin we want. Kaya, with the proper steps. Okay, thank you, sir. There, she's talking, see? I say hi. Yes, so hope to see you guys at Bello. Please pray and be kind to everybody. This is the time to really extend your patience and be kind to people. And take care. God bless. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Dr. Vicki. Back to you, I.
Thank you, Van, and thank you again, Dr. Vicki. We want to remind everyone that taking care of yourself also means getting the right life and health insurance plan for you and your family. So please visit our website or consult with your financial advisor. Before we end today's program, I know all of you are waiting patiently for the main raffle prize for today. So could any of you be the winner of our Apple AirPod? We have pre-drawn the winner earlier, and we would like to say a big congratulations to Emeline Benamir. Congratulations, Emeline. Our team will be in touch with you on how to claim your prize. Okay? So thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon. Thank you for your patience despite our technical difficulties and for actively participating in our poll survey. We hope that this webinar has inspired you to take care of yourself more and live healthier. Please join our next webinar, which is about how you can get your business back on track. So to all our entrepreneurs out there and even those planning to put up their businesses, please watch out for that. Check out our Facebook for our webinar schedules. So thank you again, everyone. Have a pleasant day. Stay safe always, and we'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.